Let's go! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How we doing? I got my stack looking. Previously on KIMBA TV. Alrighta, and then even if these are all scalps, so even if this like kind of does start, then we're gonna be looking at this, and then same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has its own single print right there, right at its own point of control. So these are all like I would. The juicy longs are kind of from here for me. Obviously, you know, Bugamas can change. But yeah. 21 Slippy says, was this nuke still bullish or bearish? The nuke itself, well, first off, this is not a nuke, by the way. You would want to see how this level holds. Something like that. 21 slippage. So only if you get to see the reaction here will you know if it's bullish or bearish. The drop itself doesn't provide any of that context. All right, RTH is going to open in 8 minutes, y'all. Any questions? I don't think that's a good... let's see. On chat. What's going on for 11Ps? Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit hard today, especially since yesterday was an inside day, since the value levels didn't change. The Rock, what's going on? Ninja, Chrono MZ, thank you for the resub. Baratinha, Ricky, Latisse, Mark, Dark, Volodya, Benso, Wiztar, Daipopi, Pedro, Calling Noob, Isotashi, Ace with a ya, 83 with a My Bugatti Clean. Hey, Bugatti Clean, boy. 83, what's going on? Big Herofa. What's going on, Big Herofa? All right, let me just get caught up on the chat. I'm pretty behind. Bergix, Rooney, Pedro, Namgod, Fibmath, Mark, Manello, Koroon, Namgod, Pedro, Mark, Fibmath, No Diabito, Dr. Manhattan, Malha, Levi, all in. Thank you for the resub. All right, here we go. U.S. markets are open. Daniel V, what's going on, dude? Everybody that watches the YouTube stream with no music, you guys are fucking psychopaths. How do you watch the stream with no music? I love it. I love it. That's a special breed right there. That's a special breed right there. What's good? What's good? What's going on? What's going on, Lions? How we doing, Lions? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Gotta lock in. Gotta lock in. Fibception, good morning. Fibmath is yeah. Danny Bellagio says you're gonna be streaming for a long time during subathon. Let's go. I'm ready, Danny Bellagio. Round trip, good morning. Are you bullish or bearish? I'm a little bit more bullish, I guess. A little bit today. Yeah, I would like a little bit of a lower pullback and then maybe try to attempt like a scalp long. Yeah, I think scalp long for S&P would be the single print. And then same thing with Biddy. Grabbing this single print right there and then reverting back. Yeah, so I think I would like a scalp long. Yeah. And then medium time frame a little bit, maybe a little bit more bearish, and then higher time frame obviously bullish. So yeah, we're actually like, I mean, TradFi anyways is building value. I mean, I thought we would have had a pullback by now. So this is like kind of bullish. So yeah, if you rewind, I moved this up all the way from here. So obviously that was, you know, what I had, but I moved it all the way up here. We might have to keep an eye on that single print. So if it comes here, I think I might think about longing that. Yeah, so I would like that. And then if it does happen, I would love that. Yeah, but I need this. It's going to be awkward because it's a bearish gap, and I need follow through on that one. So I need the bearish gap to be bearish, and I need the bullish gap from yesterday to also react bearishly for me to get this. So a little bit awkward, but let's see what it do. Lucas says, LMAO, music gets kind of annoying when you watch the whole day. Okay, touche, touche. Let's get it. Kamikaze says, don't you worry, my guy. Bitcoin going down to 74K? No, probably not. Yeah, not enough open interest gamma, Kamikaze. If you were to look at the CME option chain, what probability would you give 74? I mean, I would put it at less than 5%. Yeah, so the lowest is probably like, I don't know, 108, somewhere in that zone. Yeah, losing 107, 108 would be really bearish. Kamikaze, in which case you probably wouldn't want to long 74. Yeah, so just be careful. How is your soul? Soul is great. I'm not gonna touch it. Soul would be, we still want to see 172 and 177. So everything is okay on Soul. Yeah, are you gonna hedge short on Soul? I don't know yet. I would love to just, with every altcoin long, I'm gonna swing for a home run. So most likely I won't shave, and I'll try to hedge. Yeah, so as long as we can stay above this, we should be okay. Once it's lost, then we'll start worrying a little bit. Yeah, Sol is good. But yeah, the levels to the upside haven't changed. So we'll see what it does up there. Kind of like how Bitcoin 117, 118, yeah? Yep. Anything else? I looked through some of these altcoins, but I think it's better to just wait, especially since like Trump, for example, is still below the impeachment hearing level. WIF is low, XRP will wait. This one maybe, but again, we're going to wait until it gets above VWAP. So a lot of these are just still the same from yesterday. All right. Any other questions, you guys? Y'all good? I'm ready to go. Got levels to the upside, to the downside. And we got 19 minutes on the 30-minute candle close. So how we doing, Lions? But you said I want to take advantage of the gap. Okay, so if the CME closes or settles or pauses here, and then let's say that derivatives pump. And so when CME opens up again, whether it's Sunday or after Macaulay Culkin hour, let's say that it gaps and it has this, okay? This is a bullish gap. If the price opens below, then that is a bearish gap. Okay, the price was so bullish that it didn't even wait for CME, and so it has an imbalance like this. The most bullish way that it would react to a bullish gap is that it dips the tip and it let it rips. Not only does it do this in a relatively quick manner, so a 30-minute candle would be ideal, but it doesn't close the gap. Okay, the second bullish way that it can react is that it does close the whole gap, but it also leaves in a relatively quickly manner. Okay? The third bullish gap, or third bullish way that it can react, is that it doesn't gap fill. However, it spends a little bit of time, usually like some failed auction bullshit, and then it finally finds its way out. Okay, and the last way that it could be bullish, and it's almost not bullish, is that it closes the whole thing and it also spends time. That's fucked. I think common sense would just kind of dictate that. You reverse that for the opposite. Okay, so that's how you can play your ETH and RTH. And then obviously you need to start finessing certain things. Like, are you going to try to play that during ETH? During low volume? Well, you better rely on ETH VWAP, and you better that thing is in the gap or above or below in the way that you want to trade it, right? You better have some sort of like Fibonacci helping you out. And a divergence is super, super key. The easiest thing you're going to notice is to just wait until RTH, because those are the highest probable. If it's supposed to have VWAP support, if it is a bullish gap, dip the tip, usually has a lot better way of playing it because it's real volume. The lower volume stuff like ETH, VWAP, ETH gap, those are a lot harder to trust. So you'll notice they get filled a lot. The dip the tip doesn't really work in ETH gaps, but start tracking it and you'll see the same thing that I see, I think. There you go. I'm already in. What I want you to do is rewind the stream from the morning and get caught up. The goal is to be in the long before it leaves the golden pocket. So if you want, go back to the TA from this morning. Listen to all of this. This is it right here. Like this. Like you have to kind of figure out like when are you going to get in. I mean, I don't know if you got into an S&P long, but this is your entry. That's your stop loss. This is a little bit more like, I think, just market smashing, but basically this point of control, the hairline is your entry. That could be your stop loss. That could be your stop loss. And any of those is, but what you want to do is you need to get in before golden pocket. We talk about it in the video. So as long as you're in before golden pocket, you're good. Alrighty? But make sure you rewind and get caught up. Man, but you're going to be tripping until Bitcoin gets above 114. I don't want you to celebrate. I don't want you to... It's going to be pain city until 1145. I'm just going to be honest with you. So until you see Bitcoin get above 1145, yeah, you've got a chance for Sol and Biddy to go lower. Okay? Now, I'm not even going to talk about any levels above 1145 or 116 because from there, it's kind of smooth sailing. But if we don't get above 1145, like right now, do you want to talk about levels to the downside? If it goes lower and it's not an SFP, you're going to probably see 110 and lower potentially. Okay? So that means that Sol has the chance to get all the way as low as like mid 140s. All right. So this is what I'll say too, 21, is do you already have limits at break even? Like right above your entry? You better have them right now. They're like, you have no excuses. If you get lucky enough to get that, you get pup-pinked the fuck out. On God, if you do some goofy, like cancel those as it goes up and you miss your opportunity and it starts going in the red again, you need to slap the shit out of yourself. And you need to have your, you need to just get the fuck out and reevaluate. Okay, so right off the rip, your TP, your limit out is set above your entry, right? So if you do get break even, you're gone, right? Okay, got you. Well, here's what I'm really wanting to see, 21 slippage. I gotta leave. I got my meetings start right at market close. So I gotta leave. I gotta start playing the outro music and do a hard stop. But watch the SFP, and until this gets above these 2 point of controls, whoops. This is always going to be in play. If this makes a higher high and it does this, yeah, then it's going to run. So this is going to be like kind of crucial, this guy right here. Okay? And as long as you're below that box, 21 slippage, the probability of grabbing that single print is always there. So can't predict the future. I don't know if it's going to grab it this week. I don't know if it's grab it next month. I don't know if it's going to grab it 5 minutes after I leave. But start with S&P and then work your way back on Biddy. Yeah, but you're doing all right, 21. We've all been there, brother. Yeah, and would it be fair to say, 21, I mean, you're a grown-ass man, brother. You have an opportunity to learn, which means that the next time you change your stop loss again, or you think your leverage is low enough, or you don't have like a clear this, if it does this, I'm out, and you make the same mistake again, it's fair to say that you didn't learn. And learning and preventing the same mistake from happening over and over and over is the name of the game. The money will take care of itself. So, you know, never beat yourself up on the first or second or even the third mistake. But, brother, like, you're still making the same mistake 4, 5, 6 times, you know, or 4, 5, 6 months later. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out what's going on. Yeah, so this one's on the house. It's really not that big of a deal. I wouldn't be so hard on yourself. We all have been there hundreds and thousands of times. I've done it hundreds and thousands of times. But eventually, you got to stop. So, yeah, that's what I would be looking at, that point of control, the other point of control, sandwich, draw the zone, above, Bellagio, below, Bellagio. Yeah, and don't get so caught up in like, oh, fuck, I'm down, or like, you know, oh, man, like, you know, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have done that. Just kind of beating yourself up and like letting all the data and the probability and the juice that you can use next time just go in, out, in one ear and out the other. So, yes. Let me take a look at Sol for you one more time. Yeah. Yeah. And remember, 21, I don't think altcoin season has started until rate cuts are announced. And so any altcoin long that you're going to take, you need to have this firm belief that rate cuts are going to happen, whether you think it's an emergency one in August or more likely in September. Because at the first sight or sign that you don't think we're going to get rate cuts, you know, for example, like August CPI, that could be one thing that could say, hey, maybe we don't need rate. I mean, it's probably not going to say that, but CPI or PCE or non-farm payrolls or unemployment this month could be juicy juice. And your trident on Solana 21 slippage is 159.10. So if it loses 159.10, you're probably going to be looking for the 151 potentially coming into play. Do you understand why, though? Because you're already losing almost all the bullish edge that you have. So you have to reclaim a higher low and structure, okay? If you lose that, then you're gonna be making way for a lower low. So you have to kind of start to understand where's the next like volume profile. And it starts to get scary because that's your value area high and that's your value area low. So all you really have is like kind of this price action, and that's a loose sort of volume node. So there's one last chance before it comes into the naked point of control, and that's the 151. You don't really have any volume between here and here. So you would probably be, if I were you, I would start tripping if it lost that 159 like sort of trident structure. I mean, you're losing the potential for a higher low. And that's fucked. So like I would just keep it dead ass simple. And do you know how to pull like anchor VWAP and stuff like that? You could try to get cute with that, but yeah, 151.65 is kind of like your last and it's, you know, it's gonna wick through that. It's not gonna like pixel fuck. So I know you said something about like 149 something. Yeah, be careful. They're really gonna try to stop you out, brother. And what would be the other way? 172, 177. This. Because this is kind of value area low, and this is around value area high. So if you can get above 183, I would expect rotation to 250 and higher. Okay? And then this is kind of like your sort of technical support and resistance for the last like year and a half. So anything above 172, 177 would be nice. And then the 177 to 183 is really like the let's go. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow to kind of help you out, 21. But yeah, you're not. This is what it should have done, and it's building value and spending time below. So this context, like smaller time frame, it's bearish. What you needed to do is this, and it still has a chance to do it. You know, it can try to kind of hold that rounded. It has to kind of hold this. But you're spending a little bit too much time and value, and this is gonna start to lend more. It's gonna get the price is gonna start to get heavy. You know, you maybe have 1 or 2 30-minute candles left to kind of get back up. Same thing with Bitcoin. Same thing with S&P. Okay, 20 minutes left. I'm gonna start playing the outro music. All right. Thomas, let's go. And 21 slippage. I'm rooting for you, brother. Zaha says no. Well, I'm working on tutorial stuff, educational content. You want me to stare at this slow-ass S&P another hour, or you want me to work on some tutorial shit? You want me to finalize the template so you can use this shit too? I'll do whatever you want, Zaha. I don't think I'm gonna be, bro. If S&P goes to single print, I'm probably in the long. If the regular bull div is still there. You know, if this goes back above point of control, remember the bullshit that I was talking about? Like this point of control, and I drew this one, and I drew it like this. If it gets above here, then it's probably okay to chase anything in here before it breaches this, right? That's your invalidation, isn't it? So if you want to fuck with S&P like right after market close, right before Macaulay, I'm not going to, but be my guest. That's how you would do it. With Biddy, like I'm already in the long, stop loss and profit, and I'm ready for a SFP during Macaulay. Other than that, I'll need to see what the 0.5 is at something like this. So I don't need to be here for any of this, right? Let me, you know, I don't need, if anything, if you have questions, there's so many lions that know exactly what should happen if it's bullish, what should happen is bearish. You can ask. We can regroup tomorrow. I'll be on early tomorrow. Yeah, long-term investment TA juice. Let's do it. Let's do it. You wanna do more like long-term juice stuff? Deikiku says, I'm here since a couple of years following Kimba daily, juicing with knowledge, but never made really good. Since I dropped out of the stream 1 year ago, I really started to grow and use Kimba's knowledge for really juice. I was always getting emotionally triggered from people and stream. Important is to experience everything by their own, do not copy. Yes, Deikiku. And isn't it funny in the end? That's exactly what I say, Deikiku. Right? Yeah, you got to get rid of the emotion and you got to see it for yourself. I think that is actually kind of what I was telling Homie the other day. Once you kind of figure out the math and the basic strategy, it's kind of like when the young monks, they leave the temple and they go out into the mountains and they try to survive out there for a year and then they come back more enlightened. Right? It's kind of like that. Your subconscious will always kick in. It doesn't matter what I say. If you haven't seen it for yourself, you'll never believe it. And it's so much easier to just kind of see it yourself, experience it, because what you see and what you experience is your own reality. You know what I mean? And you'll believe that more than anything that a random person on the internet is going to say. So you got to see it for yourself. Gotta. Yeah, and once you do, it doesn't matter what I say, what I do, what I'm not doing, you'll always do you. Yeah, the math is always mathin'. Whatever it takes to get the emotions out of your thought process or decision-making process, that's what you want to do. Let's go! All right, any other questions? I got to start the outro. All right, y'all, I had a great day. Hey, Monday done, Tuesday done. Let's get after it again tomorrow, Wednesday. I'll be spitting 15-second alpha TA pretty early. If you show up late, make sure you rewind to get caught up. It's really just going to come down to the levels that we already have anyways. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Have a great night. Can I get a cut?